Check 1 2 1 2.
Go.
Check.
Untamed.
First guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Wake up. 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 Wake up.
Shout out to Sherman Wells.
Wake up. 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 You better wake up from this dream. Life is not what it seems. This culture's not your reality. You better unplug or be a casualty. Cause the life that we lose in the drug and abusing is keeping us off from our greatness. We gotta spread the love and stop hating. Then rearrange these front pages. From murder and death to building our wealth.
Get that message.
Removing the stealth. Milking the game till there's nothing left. And teaching my people to love themselves. I'm crashing on competition. That's an interference with commission. Man, we tired of listening, so we said enough. Unification amongst us. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Shout out to Sherman Wells. Big Sherm, fresh edition of First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us early. As you know, we start 7 o'clock, hard start for the news. So we wanted to come in about 10 minutes early in order to get the hellos and how you doings out of the way with fam. Yeah, man. Good morning. How you doing?
Man, yeah, doing all right. Wasn't sure if the tech was taking this morning. Took a little while for the comments to come in, but I see them rolling in. Good morning. Brother Mark Manor coming through. Pops coming through. Hey.
Our man says, good morning. I need the wake up song this morning. That thunder had me up. Yeah, man.
Man, okay.
Yeah, the thunder woke me up too, man. Hit hard and close.
Man, how's it feeling out there? Is it cooling off? I'm seeing a few parts of the country getting hit by snow already.
Yeah, it's
definitely
cool. Definitely cooling off. It's been super rainy last night, this morning. One of them kind of you want to stay in bed type of rainy days. So yeah, it's definitely cooling off. It's supposed to be okay today though, but yeah, it's definitely we got rain today. It's supposed to heat back up just a tad bit, but yeah, we're definitely in that season right now where it's gonna get colder.
Yeah.
Check your heaters and change your filters.
Yeah, get the furnaces going. Get that funk out.
Pops in the chat. Good Wednesday morning, First Guy. Good morning to you, Judy Prinzer, with the good morning. Appreciate you guys getting up early this morning, saying hello.
Yeah,
and let us know how you feeling, how you doing. What's your midweek like? We have special guests coming in today. It's gonna be a really good day for special guests. Nezzie Hardges is coming in from IB Black Girl, and it's gonna talk about some events coming up, and then also my man Dom.
Man, Dom.
Damany Rahn is gonna come in. He's from Heartland. Heart Ministry Center. Yep. And we've been partnering with him on some stuff, and always have a great time talking to him. So I'm glad he's finally coming on the show and let us know what's going on.
Man.
You know, that Heart Ministry block over there, that's where Culture House is and all these other spots. And I'm like, that's the part of town, man. That's the block. We got some heads over there really trying to do something in that part of 24th Street.
Yeah, kind of the forgotten side of the Deuce, man. Everybody, focused on the heart of the Deuce, the Lake Street intersection, but you can go a little further down. Some other things going on.
Yeah, man. So yeah, it's gonna be a good show. Appreciate you guys coming on through. Mark Manor says this damp this morning. The evenings have been gorgeous though.
Okay. I did see in the news this is supposed to be like kind of warm this week, just some slight rain, but as far as the temperature, it's actually kind of warm out there.
I mean, it's a California winter.
Yeah, there you go.
Warm for here in this time of year, I guess. Michelle Moreno says, good morning. They just said snow next Wednesday for us.
No, well, there you go.
Look here, Miss Moreno. Let me tell you something right now.
Come in here cursing.
Family show. You can't come on here cussing at us with that S word.
Yeah.
So soon. Marlon Harrison says, starting my birthday off right with First Guy Omaha. I'm officially 30 years old.
Hey, welcome to the 30 Club.
What's up, man? Congratulations.
Yeah.
I was checking it out. A lot of birthdays from chat chimers in this past 2 weeks. Kind of a trip.
Man, okay. If we miss anybody else's birthday, happy belated birthday to all of you.
We missed a whole bunch of people's birthdays. As a matter of fact, Captain Q is now 40 years old.
I did see that.
Yep, man. Celebrated his 40th. So shout out to brother Kasim. We didn't get to say it the other day, but yeah, man. Yeah. Big 4-0.
Man, a couple more grays.
That's what's up. And so a few other people too. So yeah, let us know if it was your birthday this past week or two. Cause I was noticing that it was like chat chimer after chat chimer was gearing up. I was like, okay, it's the season.
'Tis the season. What speaking of season, like what season is it? Is it Scorpio season? Is that
You got me. No, I don't
you're
follow none
not
of that.
big in the zodiac?
Nah, I ain't with all that. I don't know what none of it means. They tell me I'm a Gemini, but I don't know if you are if you don't believe it. So
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. I can see
yeah,
that.
I mean, but most people think it's fun. A lot of people these days be living by it, and I'm just like, y'all, find something else.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Find some
Playing their whole day around it.
their whole life, their whole personality, and everything. Well, it's that sometimes that I feel like people use it as an excuse, like, well, I'm a Scorpio, so I'm gonna act like
Yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah. There's definitely
whatever.
that side. Yeah, there's definitely that side of
But
it.
to each his own. If you guys believe it, let us know. If that's if you got some argument for it, this is the discussion show. So come
Yeah,
on, discuss.
yeah. Definitely comes with the birthday celebration. So yeah, big up to everybody celebrating more life.
There you go. Rose Review says I knocked the dust off that filter. You better
Bro.
get you a new filter, bro. You be out there with a hose spraying it off.
Yeah, no, get your new filter. Place the filters, please, y'all. Please, please.
Place the filters. The heat ain't no joke. I know you already turned the heat on and smell all the hair burning off of it and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah. You gotta warm
Change,
it up.
change the
Thaw
filter.
it out.
Also, Sue Kessler Hagen gives us a good Wednesday morning. Good morning to you.
Hey.
Appreciate you coming in. I called this. It was an accident. I didn't know it was Scorpio season, but apparently it's still Scorpio season, according to Marlon Harrison.
Yeah.
What's the characteristics of that?
Characteristics?
Tell us what it
I'm
is.
not sure. I'm not sure. Actually, one of my closest friends is Scorpio, man. Shout out to you might know her as Chef. My
Hmm.
sister Amber just celebrated her birthday yesterday. Or no, Monday. Yeah,
So,
Monday.
so
Monday.
one of the characteristics is you know how to cook and eat well. Then
Maybe. I don't know. I
Scorpio
don't know. That might just be her kind of going to your whole theory about
might just be her, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Heather Williams in the chat says, "Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you." Also, they Mark Manor says they tell me I'm stubborn, and that would be correct. All I know though. Yeah. Okay. So what is what are you? Are you a Scorpio too, Mark? What's your zodiac?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
I'm a Cancer. I feel like there are some characteristics that's
Don't we all got everything at some point?
no, no.
Okay. Okay.
It's a different admixture per person. I mean,
Hold on. Stop the presses.
what?
Michelle Moreno says, Paul, sorry, Paul, I'll give you a dozen tamales when I make them.
Oh, I don't even know what she's apologizing for, but that
Don't
sounds
matter.
like
Don't
quite
matter.
the apology.
Show's over. I gotta get ready for these Mexican energy bars coming.
Mexican energy bars. Wow.
Yeah, dude. It's all about the tamales, man. You like tamales, right?
I'm not big on tamales. It's a texture thing for me,
What?
man. It's a texture thing. It's like I can't do like soggy. Yeah.
You ain't eating the corn. You ain't eating the husk on the outside, right?
No, I'm not eating the husk. Like once you take the husk off, it's the innards, right? That are like
The innards. Boy, if that ain't the most country thing I ever heard on my tamale, take the husk off and eat the innards.
Yeah, take the husk off. Eat the
Michelle
innards.
Moreno, don't be making promises. I'll come knock on your door. Look, what did tamales at? Don't not this time of year. This the season.
'Tis the season.
Bro, tamales, come on. Let me quit talking about it. Ron's Review says lots of people are horrible humans. You would never know it by reading. You would never know reading horoscopes.
Put the horror in
Man,
horoscopes, huh?
yeah, man. We having fun this morning already. Wednesday. If you're just
Yeah.
joining us, we about to start the 7 o'clock hard start for the news. Special guests coming in today, Nezzie Hardges and also Damany Rahn. So stay tuned for that. Kimber Snipes in the chat saying good morning, y'all. Good morning to you. I was
Hey.
over at the headquarters yesterday. I was thinking I might run into you yesterday, but I just happened to wind up at the headquarters. But yeah, man, felt
Wind me up.
good.
Yeah, I saw you out there posting, man, chilling out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
it felt good to be back.
Absolutely, man. Also, Sean McCarthy says morning, everyone. Appreciate that very
Hey,
much. Yeah, man.
Kimra
Awesome.
Snipe coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Top of the morning, Sister Kimra.
She said, "Me no do soggy bread. It ain't so." Look, y'all.
It's like soggy is the best way I can explain. It's not quite soggy, but it's not. It's close enough to soggy for me not to rock with the texture, man. It's a cool flavor, but
We gonna start
Yeah.
this soggy show. It's 7 o'clock. If you believe in the concept of time, you're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Fresh edition happening now.
Hey.
Good morning, good morning. Get ready to chime in. You're listening to a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the God. We're over here
Hey.
talking to you, the chat chimers, ghost listeners, and all the monitoring spirits that are checking us out as well. We appreciate you joining us this morning on November the 13th, 2024.
Hump day.
Hump day. It's a rainy day. Make sure you get your umbrella out if you're moving around, and go ahead and change that filter in the heater.
Yeah.
Got the heater getting ready to start popping on because of the weather cooling off a little bit. Somebody said snow by next week. I know we ain't not supposed to be cussing on this show, but I'm saying the S word. Snow next week. Get ready.
Brace yourselves.
Brace yourself. Brace yourself for a fresh edition this morning. We definitely got some news happening. We also have special guests coming on today. Nezzie Hardges is coming in from IB Black Girl. And also a little later on the show, Damany Rahn is coming through. My man Dom from the Heart Ministry Center. So we talking to them about all kinds of things that are going on in our neighborhoods and so on and so forth. We actually got a nice roster of special guests coming in for the remainder of this season, which we got about another month. A lot of people that's going to be coming on talking about some very important things and setting us up for 2025 season and all that good stuff. So stay tuned for all of that. Do us a favor, share the show on your page, especially if you're on Facebook and YouTube. Share the show, and of course, if you miss any parts of the show, you can go back and watch them in its entirety on YouTube and Facebook. At YouTube, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell so you can know when we're dropping live stuff. And there's going to be new things that we drop pretty soon as well. So we want you to stay tuned on YouTube, especially if you don't have an account over there. I highly suggest you go over there and do that, especially if you're a chat chimer, because we're going to be doing a lot of stuff with the chat over there on YouTube. So stay tuned for that. Also, while we're at it, do not forget, please sign up for the weekly wrap. The weekly wrap newsletter is kind of where we're putting a lot of the efforts there, and the new website as well. If you haven't visited firstskyOmaha.com, please go visit firstskyOmaha.com. That we got some news articles and some things that we got going there too. And these are our two kind of focused places where we're trying to do things so that we can kind of make sure that we don't depend too much on social media, the social media platforms, in order to get this message out. So we highly encourage you to do that. I'm going to put the link in the chat for the weekly wrap, so you can get that every Friday when it drops. If you haven't already signed up, please click that link and go ahead and give us your email address.
Come on through.
You can always reach us at firstskyOmaha@gmail.com as well. With that said, good morning. We'll go ahead and get the news started today, buddy. What's first on the agenda for you?
Yeah, of course, as always, we like to start off with some community updates. And I like to just start by saying I dropped the ball this morning and getting that together. So I want to give a shout out to everybody who's dropping things and friends of First Sky Omaha, because that's how we stay tapped in what's going on with the community, especially our community that we've kind of cultivated over the last couple of years, man. So we could continuously appreciate and give a shout out to y'all. Kind of interesting if you've seen it, brother Ricky Smith has been dropping some stuff on there, which I would definitely love to speak to the brother again. A lot of things going on with education, which actually we'll be talking about throughout today's show. A few chat chimers sending me some stuff about Trump's plans regarding education. So yeah, kind of interesting to see brother Ricky Smith getting active on Friends of First Sky. But I do want to recognize, something that he's sharing. Unlock Your Future. There's a college fair coming up. Again, that's Wednesday, November 13th. So that is today. Connect with college representatives, community support organizations. That's brought to you by Omaha 360, Urban League of Nebraska, and Step Up Omaha. Again, you can find more information on Friends of First Sky Omaha if you haven't already. And again, Mr. Ricky Smith would definitely love to speak with you very soon. Have a lot of questions about what's going on with OPS, especially in light of some of the policy changes as of recently. So yeah, definitely jumping into that. Also, Man, we don't really give him a shout out enough, but definitely looking forward to speaking to my man Damany Rahn. Shout out to Heart Ministry Center. We're doing some work with them as far as a few projects that they have coming up. And yeah, man, they do a lot of good work. A lot of good work. If you haven't really been through the facility, please go check it out right there on the Deuce, as Paul mentioned earlier, right across the street from the Culture House. Man, a lot of resources, and I'll let my man Dom kind of go down what it is that they do a little later on. But they have something dealing with housing coming up that I want to point your attention to. It's an application afternoon. Actually get to make an appointment for a free consultation, emphasis on the word free, for the free 99, to assess your credit, income, debts, discover your buying power, get pre-qualified for home purchasing. Again, this is something we constantly talk about here on the show as far as housing resources, housing opportunities, recognizing that again, Paul, you kind of, been pushing that mental as far as home ownership. At one point you said you viewed it as a kind of an option, like, a good option, but recognizing it's almost a need now. You need to get you some land, man. Get you
Yeah.
some land as soon as you can. So big shout out to Heart Ministry Center for again bringing that resource and allowing people to see where they stand. How can they get some land in their hands? I didn't mean to rhyme like that, but that's just how it worked out. Bo Bigley, Bo Bigley, Bo Bigley will be coming through to help. Again, that's next Wednesday, the 20th, from 1 to 4 p.m. So again, shout out to Heart Ministry Center for that. Also, speaking of housing, shout out to Paul and Big Sherm, as we like to call him, Brother Sherman Wells, continuing to pound the pavement and fight the towers, reminding people that that fight continues. If you or your loved ones have, again, any body that's living in, these towers, Omaha public housing, not just the towers, but also what we've learned to be called the scatter sites, a couple other properties around the Omaha metro that are controlled by Omaha Housing Authority. Again, they Paul Fallman and Brother Sherman Wells are looking for people to call in. They're looking to gather information and get your story. So as we learned, a lot of tenants kind of struggling with sharing that side of what's going on, but we need your voices to be heard. Again, shout out to Brother Hassani Lee, kind of leading the charge and empowering other tenants with the Underwood Tenants Group. But yeah, we gotta keep the fight going, man. Keep the fight going. So big shout out to Paul Philman, man, pounding the pavement like none other, man. Man, if you don't know about that brother, definitely check him out.
Go ahead, White Paul. Get down.
Yeah, White Paws, we like to call him. Right on. Also, moving along, some things going on the UNL. Actually, Paul, you shared this on Friends of. So again, big shout out to everybody who is sharing things on Friends of, keeping the conversation going in between shows. If you haven't already, please make sure you join that group on Facebook. Again, Friends of First Guy Omaha. But again, it's a meeting to divest from death. Again, there's been some conversation, especially with one of the manufacturing facilities coming to North Omaha. A lot of you chat chimers have kind of chimed up and shared some I will say some concerns, I guess is the best word I could think of at the moment about again our role, if you would say, in genocide for a possible manufacturing company to come to North Omaha. UNL's chiming up about that. Do you want to stop Nebraska's complicity in genocide? Is the question. Do you want Nebraska to make investments on campus instead of genocide? So if you're in the Lincoln area, there's opportunity to kind of speak up and join that at the Ubuntu Room 202. Actually, that was That's next Tuesday, the 19th at 5:30. Let's see. Last but not least, I do want to reiterate something that we mentioned as far as Thanksgiving is coming up. People still struggling to eat. Shout out to No More Empty Pots. They definitely get down. They are looking for volunteers. Looking for 8 amazing volunteers this on Thursday, November 21st. That's next Thursday. Make sure the community harvest customers have a nourishing meal and plenty of seasonal produce for themselves and their families this Thanksgiving. I've done a few volunteer events over Thanksgivings. Man, it's a great way. It's a great way. If you're not, especially if you don't have like family to sit with, if you don't really have a meal planned for Thanksgiving, volunteering is always the best way to celebrate that holiday if you celebrate it. But again, big shout out to No More Empty Pots, fighting that food war. Again, reminding you that it is a food war being fought, especially in North Omaha, with again very few options and very minimal access to healthy, really fresh produce. So again, big shout out to No More Empty Pots getting down there in Florence, and also I believe just opening up on 30th with the accelerator right under the greenhouse. So doing some work over there, doing good in the hood. And big shout out to all of you continuing to post things of Friends of. If you'd like to check those out and more, definitely again visit Friends of First Sky Omaha here on Facebook. And yeah, that's our community updates for the day. Again, big shout out to you, Paul, as always, for helping with that.
Got a few other ones. I definitely want to give a shout out to Brother Kasim again. He just turned 40. We didn't get to give him a happy Kasim Day the other day
Man,
when it went
big
down.
folk.
So
Oh,
shout out to him, man. Yeah, lots of birthdays. We were talking about it before the show on the hellos and how you doing about all the chat chimers that have birthdays that's been happening here this last couple weeks. So if you had one and we missed it, let us know. Also, I saw Marlon Harrison in the chat who just turned 30. He told us this morning as well. He said, I got a nice dark green suit I'm gonna wear today for my birthday. I don't care if it's raining
okay.
outside. I'm gonna step outside looking fresh and clean for my birthday. That's
All
what's up.
right.
Shout out to Brother Harrison.
As you should.
Appreciate you with that as well. Also, one more thing that I wanted to kind of point out. This is a good opportunity for people who are down with our whole citizen journalist journey. We're trying to build an army of citizen journalists. There's always opportunities to do some writing and do some things, but
Yeah.
our friends over here in Benson, this is a new vegan restaurant. This is for my vegan friends, especially.
Hey.
We got the news that Modern Love is shutting down, and for those of us that frequent Modern Love, for those of us that are searching
Mm.
for vegan options in Omaha, Nebraska, that's a heavy hit. But there is another small a vegan restaurant in Benson called Veg Ed. I can't even say it. Veg
Vegetable.
Edible. It's called Veg Edible, right? And they opened up last year, and they've been trying to really get their footing as well, and they having a little trouble too. We trying to make sure that they stick around as well. They put out a post just recently asking for journalists, bloggers, influence, media pros. They're a small business. They need a little bit of help with some writing. If you happen to be somebody who frequents restaurants that are vegan like that, and you haven't gotten a chance to check it out, I highly encourage you to go over there and check them out and maybe write a little something about it. So a little word of mouth goes a long way, as they say. They love hearing about it. They're a small business. They can't really afford to bring on a marketing team, so they're calling for people who are people that are have frequented the restaurant to just go ahead and write a little something about it. So go check them out. As you can see how they're spelled up there. That's the reason why I can't ever say it right. Veg Edible,
There you go.
veg.edible. Yeah, check them out there. And if you are so inclined, go check it out. Go check it out and see about writing something. This is always a good opportunity to write some things about things that are going on in the neighborhood. I go over there every once in a while and get some stuff. So I'm looking at trying to write a little just a few words on the subject and see if we can help get them going. But I know that there's some people in the chat and some people that are friends of and some ghost listeners as well that are vegan. And we don't talk about it a whole lot because we don't really get into like food and the food desert conversation too much. But when it comes to people who are really trying to change their diet, trying to eat to live, if you will,
Man.
it's a tough place. It's tough when you want to go out and do something in the Midwest. And so every vegan restaurant we see out here, we try to big up. Man, shout out to Naughty Buddha who had to shut down in
Man.
Omaha as well. The only black owned vegan spot around here. So yeah, no, Veg Edible is not a black owned spot, but like I said, it's one of many vegan restaurants out here that are shutting down, and it's unfortunate. So there's a little opportunity to try to help save one, and also get your chops up on your writing skills. And we're always going to throw things out there for people to write because we're really trying to build this army of citizen journalists, and we can start with some light stuff and then get into some heavy stuff. And yeah, stay tuned for some of that content creator camp coming up in 2025. We've already started on the website to throw some stuff up from some citizen journalists. So this journey is moving, and I'm going to keep on trying to find things for everybody to do to be able to kind of move on this. We really got to start telling our own stories in our neighborhood. So I just wanted to do that briefly for the community update as well, to let them know there's some people in the community that we can help in a way that we do it, and just
Man.
share some information. So shout
Big
out to
time.
them for doing the good work, and thanks for you guys taking a moment there to listen to my spiel on that. Uh,
Oh yeah.
with that said, let's go ahead. We can go ahead and move on from there. But yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for you guys considering that for me.
Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. I didn't realize Modern Love was closing down, man. Hadn't heard about that, man. But
Yeah, they got
yeah, man, fewer and far in between as far as the vegan spots in Omaha, man. So
yeah,
yeah,
for
shout
real.
out to those still trucking along. Rome's review says extreme athletes are vegan as well. Oh yeah. Man,
Definitely, yeah.
gorillas, like some of the strongest animals on the planet. You eat vegetables and fruit. That's about it. That's about
You
it.
ain't
So
lying.
yeah,
Marina
yeah,
says the nachos and fry are fire amount of love. That's my go-to. My
man.
go-to is those nachos, man.
Yeah,
To
Modern Love gets down. And
without having the nachos, without the lactose, you know what I'm saying?
man,
Without the dairy problems. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
get you right.
Good stuff.
Get you right. So yeah. Big shout out to those who are volunteering to help them out. Also, before we switch to the headlines for today, I do want to also recognize those who helped and assisted and donated to the aid of Brother Jaden Perkins, again, who is struggling with brain cancer, is struggling with brain cancer, and preparing to fight that fight. And again, those who assisted in that, man, 48 hours they were able to reach their goal. So big shout out to everybody who donated, who assisted with that. And yeah, if you know Brother Perkins or you're familiar with them, maybe reach out, send some love, send some light. It's not only finance, but got to keep the ethers, got to keep the energy high as well. So yeah, reach out if you know, if you're familiar with the family. So
Also, just real quick, Heather Williams is telling us that she had a birthday on the 16th. So, like I
oh,
said,
okay,
man, I'm trying to tell you, a lot of chat chimers in this past couple of weeks had some birthdays. So, shout out to Heather
actually,
Williams.
that's coming up. That's this Friday. Let me look at my
Hmm.
calendar.
Yeah, you got plans? What you doing this weekend?
Yeah. Let us know.
What's
Let us
going
know.
on? Also, Anthony Rogers Wright, just real quick. Also, big shout out to Free Farm Syndicate for delivering free fresh food to the people. Yeah,
Okay,
this is something I would love to get into, man. I'd love to get into because I think it's really relevant to us. I know that one of my biggest bills right now is food.
man.
The grocery bill is acting stupid right now, for
You
real.
ain't lying, Jack. You ain't
And
lying.
and so not only that's happening, economically, but also, just the ability to be able to get fresh fruits and vegetables and just good food in general,
Mhm.
is really tough in some areas of town. Definitely need to keep talking about it for sure.
Big time, man. So yeah. Shout out to that. Appreciate for all of you dropping those comments. Let's keep them going. Again, we're here first guy Omaha in the morning. If you don't know, again, jumping into the news for the first hour, and then second hour saving for more conversation, especially with our special guest coming up, as we mentioned, Damany Rahn from Heart Ministry Center, and was it from I Be Black Girl? I want to slaughter her name.
Nezzie Hardges from Ivy Black
There you
Girl.
go. Nezzie Hardges. That's not what I was going to say. So thank you. Thank you for that. Want to put some respect on our guest names. So definitely looking forward to having that conversation. But in the meantime, between time, yeah, jumping into the conversation, a lot of things happening in the headlines to look out for, especially with some of the issues that have been voted on. There's actually, as I mentioned, some conversations going on, some national connections, especially around education. A few chat chimers have shared, the fact that Trump had mentioned that he's planning on getting rid of the Board of Education, which means that control of education will definitely rest on the shoulder of the states. So, what is Nebraska doing about their education? Again, on the heels of the whole property tax situation and also the repeal of the school choice bill. What is going on with education, public education? A lot of questions being asked about the financing of education. Governor Pillen asking Nebraska lawmakers actually to overhaul the school aid formula. So we're going to dive a little bit into that. Also, one of the victories that, again, I know a lot of chat chimers were kind of excited about as far as the passing of medical marijuana in Nebraska. However, that might be under jeopardy, real jeopardy, as a petitioner has pled guilty to submitting fraudulent signatures, saying that he did forge, in fact did forge signatures in that whole process, and there's more malfeasance being alleged. What does that mean for the future of medical marijuana in the state of Nebraska, especially with, again, aid and financing formulas? The senators, excuse me, kind of tipping us off that Nebraska could be in some deep water as far as our taxes and revenue if we don't figure some things out soon. So we'll definitely be talking about that. Also, Paul, this is a story that I was excited to see. I believe Channel 3 is covering this, and I wanted to talk to you, kind of get your brain about the whole canvassing situation. Again, you had mentioned that you were busy surrounding the election, but haven't really dove really into what was happening. But apparently, your brother Wells Lavelles is getting interviewed getting some spotlight, getting some recognition on the work that's being done. So I definitely wanted to dive into that and what that means for coming up. Again, there's some announcements being made as individuals running for city council. We're learning that there's some things that can be improved and changed through city council. So yeah, we're looking forward to next year's election, continuing that conversation. Also, as we mentioned, Damany Rahn with Heart Ministry Center is coming on a little later on. They do a lot of work in assisting and helping our houseless brothers and sisters. And there's actually some news coming up as far as some more cleanup for Omaha camps or homeless camps. So that fight continues. Also, I mentioned there's some things going on with wounded veterans who unfortunately make up a large percentage of our houseless population. So some resources out there for our brothers and sisters as well. All that and more throughout the next couple of hours here on First Sky Omaha in the morning. As of course, if there's anything on your hearts and minds that we're not talking about, if we're missing the mark on things, feel free to chime into the chat. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo.
What's the word?
Man, before we go to break, just want to send out some appreciation to everybody that's jumping into the chat right now. Stacey Jean in the chat says, happy to hear that Jaden reached his goal. I hope the fund continues to grow. Yeah, definitely can continue to help this brother out. We'll check in with him to see what he needs on that, and maybe we do need to keep on helping donate in order for him to get help there. So appreciate that very much. We asked Heather Williams a little earlier what she's doing for her birthday. She said Saturday, headed to the game.
Okay,
that's what's up. Appreciate that very much. Well, Pops is also giving us a suggestion on how to save some of these restaurants out here. He says, I conscientiously leave reviews and ratings for all services because it really does help. So, not just writing an article or writing something for that veg edible restaurant, but also leaving a good review if you happen to have frequented before. So, yeah, good suggestions. Appreciate that very much. And I appreciate all you. RG gives us a good morning, y'all. Let's get it. Yeah, let's definitely get it. Let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll jump into some stories. Again, special guests. Nezzie Hardges is coming on shortly, and then later on the show, Damany Rahn. We got some very, very good conversations coming up. I hope you stay tuned for that. Do us a favor, share the show, get as many voices in on the conversation as possible, and also like and subscribe over there on YouTube as well, if that's where you're watching from. So thanks a lot for everybody that's joining us this morning. And we will continue some more of this conversation too, a little bit deeper conversation after the 8 o'clock hour. So we highly encourage you to stick around for that. And in the meantime, between time, stay tuned. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Happening right now. Don't you touch nothing. We'll be right back.
The establishment intends to play the role that Durban plays. We have to show them by our actions that we do not intend to play the role that the Jews play.
Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the God.
Hey.
All of you Chad Chimers, Ghost listeners, and Monitoring Spirits, appreciate you joining us today again. This is November the 13th on a Wednesday. And we got special guest Nezzie Hardges and also Damany Rahn coming up as well. In the meantime, between time, let's jump into some news. Buddy, what's first on the agenda?
Yeah, I'd like to kind of... I'm skipping. Okay. I'd like to kick off things with some of the things that you've been busy with. Again, you've been mentioning as far as how stressful and busy, especially counting down to the election that you were, and it was quite interesting to see that work get recognized by Channel 3. They are reporting, headline reads, a nonpartisan group shares its experience canvassing across 11 counties, including reservations. And we kind of gave a shout out, but for those of you who aren't really aware of the work that was being done, Sister Shamika Simpson led a very, very intense charge to mobilize, mobilize the state and get people to the ballots. Of course, we were pushing and bigging up the ride to the ballot situation, which Sister Mika again was able to put together across many counties. As you see, the headline reads 11 counties. And she did it with the help of local organizations, of course, not doing it by herself, like the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. She assembled, and the team that she assembled, by reaching out to neighborhood community leaders, one of which being us, First Guy Omaha, and you, Paul, directly, who worked with them. So I know that there's a lot of excitement about this, and just kind of wanted to speak to that a little bit as far as the work that was done, the work that was being done, and what that means possibly for the future. Because that's kind of a lot of what this episode is going to surround. What does this election mean for the future, especially some of the um, ballot initiatives? But Paul,
Yeah, it was a great organizing effort. First of all, shout out to Melissa Wright, who is over there at Channel 3. This is
yeah,
her story. She wanted to shine some light on the work that Shamika has done, and also other people in the community like Lavelle Wells, who is also out canvassing on the reservation. So even beyond for Omaha and in North Side, in all the areas that where the canvassing was happening at, uh, all over the place. It's been going down. So shout out, and Shamika is kind of the person that has been organizing that all together. So she reached out to us. She reached out to Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. She was the one that was doing the ride to the polls bus situation there. So she kind of decided that this was going to be a good opportunity for us to do that, and it was kind of late in the game a little bit because it was kind of last minute that they wanted some more canvassing to happen in order to get that last minute vote in. But she wisely looked at this situation like, if we can all team up and get together here and lay out a plan, then we can use this for the future. So she's already looking towards next year's mayoral race, and is in contact with all of us still. Like, okay, let's learn from this previous thing that just happened. How can we do this better? How can we reach more people, and so on and so forth, for future elections? So shout out to Shamika for having that vision and the organizational skills to kind of get everybody together on that. And we're looking forward to keep continuing on with that. And also, not to mention, just the I don't know if you guys saw the videos that we put out
hmm
for Ashley Spivey and for Senator Terrell McKinney for their race. By the way, Ashley Spivey's race is still being counted.
yep,
The 18th is when they're going to count the rest of hers to see if whether or not she's won. Everything is looking good. She's ahead so far, but they got some more things to count before we'll know. And we're already making arrangements for them to come onto the show to talk about it after the date. So but yeah, we were kind of up close and personal there. Did some videos on their canvassing efforts, and it was really interesting to see that up close and personal. If you missed any of that, go check it out on YouTube. Very interesting videos on that, and also when Representative Justin Pearson, came out from Tennessee to support them. He went canvassing as well. So there was a lot of canvassing activity that went on that
hmm
everybody kind of got together on, and everybody really, really, really mobilized for this. And so, shout out, like I said, shout out to Channel 3, who has got this thing going on, their neighborhood correspondence, which I'm
yeah,
kind of enjoying. I'm kind of glad they're doing it this way. I hope they stick with this. I talked to Melissa Wright. She said this was kind of an experiment of something that they were doing here. So I hope they continue it on. They're seeing how well it works. So and she's been really kind of doing that. She reaches out to everybody and has talked to everybody in North Omaha, especially that feels like there's things to talk about. There's some news to discuss. She's on it, and so I was happy to see that is news for us. What's been going on with this canvassing activity, and so shout
mhm,
out to her for bringing that to the mainstream news as well.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, congratulations. Yeah, I appreciate that. Ceci Jean says congratulations to her. Canvassing is hard work.
man.
Shamika Simpson, powerhouse.
Man, big time, big time. But not only Shamika, but also, Sister Ashley Spivey pounding the pavement. She says she get out there canvassing every day and run through pairs of shoes. And from the angle I'm thinking about it, as far as our civic education on this show has been ongoing, starting with figuring out that journalism is activism, and then through that journalism as activism, meeting the senators, learning more about just how all of this is working. I mean, it's been a learning experience as much for us as it been hopefully for y'all. And just it seems like this is the next step in that education, really pounding the pavement and seeing how we the people, how the average everyday people, working class people, can get out and impact and really move the needle forward on some change and some things that we would like to see. been aware of canvassing, but to see it to this level, to see the organizing, to see the community really come together this way, even getting on the reservations, it's across the board, man. So beautiful, beautiful thing, and yeah, just wanted to point to that and say that the work must continue in that regard.
Yeah, we learned a lot. We definitely we went up against the social media giants. This is why I'm so on us continuing on with our website and our
Yeah,
newsletter
yeah,
to
man.
fight that algorithm. Because man, because of the fact there's been so much misinformation, disinformation, and trolling that goes on the social media tip, and they're doing that. I feel like they're trying to go overboard with trying to protect everybody from that.
Hmm.
Especially during political season and about political things, they get real tight on what it is they're going to let go. Rightfully so in some cases. So we definitely ran up against that. What we wanted to get the message out beyond our audience. It was a little difficult. It was very difficult. So again, the answer came to us after this has been all over. The canvassing part, which is you going to other people's doors, knocking on the door, and talking to them directly.
Hmm.
Us with the direct conversation that happens with the newsletter, going to your inbox directly, us having these live shows and conversations where we're talking directly to each other now. All these things are the way that are the way that we're going to be able to circumvent everybody's control. And I can't help but tie this into to what Elon Musk is doing over at X. Like
Mm.
I'm pretty much all the way finished with. I'm not pretty much. I'm all the way finished with X with Twitter. The way that Twitter turned into this kind of right wing situation here in this past few months because he decided he wanted to jump on the
Mhm.
Trump train. It is serving up more disinformation and messed up stuff than ever, and I don't want to support it. And it just reminds me that people own these social media platforms.
Yeah,
I
man.
might be I might be mad at Zuckerberg in a minute, and we got to figure out what we're doing about Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So this is a situation where. So what do you do? What do you do if you want to get that message out? Any kind of message out to the masses? I thought it was just you pay for some marketing. You pay their advertising bill, and then you can get that message out. But that's not always
Nah,
the case.
nah, nah. I mean,
Not always the case.
you gotta think about it, man. Social media, like how much power are we giving social media to control our information channels? Like we gotta have direct, interaction with each other. You can't just post on social media and expect the community to get it. You gotta pound the pavement. You gotta live alive with one another. You gotta, feel each other's energy. So yeah, big, big shout out to everybody who's out there doing that. And I actually do want to pivot to the next story and kind of on that regard though, going from canvassers to petition
Mhm.
getters. There's some questions about a petition, a drive, of course, talking about medical marijuana. And Sister Wanda Lewis is actually jumping the gun on this, but have a very, very interesting theory that I'm kind of feeling the same. So I want to lay this out and then we'll jump into the story. But she says those fraudulent cannabis signatures may have been done on purpose to invalidate the ballot, which is very, very interesting. Again, it is being reported that a petition gatherer did it has acknowledged and admitted basically pleading guilty to submitting fraudulent signatures, saying that he did in fact forge some signatures, basically saying that he went through the phone book. I didn't even know they still made those. Went through the phone book and stole some wrote down names, basically wrote down names for those who I guess would in his opinion be supporting of this. But of course this has caused this whole issue to be called into question. And this again is the second time that voters in Nebraska have voted in support of medical marijuana, but yet here it is again the second time that courts are challenging this situation. Specifically, Lancaster County or District Judge Susan Strong, who is still reviewing evidence after a trial seeking to throw out not just the signatures from this individual, but thousands of other signatures because of Egbert, who is the petition gatherer, and other campaign organizers' alleged malfeasance. Briefs are currently being submitted by the plaintiffs in this case on Tuesday, which was yesterday. The defendants will have a chance to respond by Friday. So we could see some changes or some updates this week. Lancaster County District Judge Susan Strong has said she would like for the matter to be resolved before the election is certified on December 2nd. So there's some time with that. But again, we'll get into why, as far as the financing situation, this is kind of impactful. But this is an interesting, thought as well. What Sister Wanda Lewis is saying, as far as those fraudulent cannabis signatures may have been done on purpose to invalidate the ballot. That's, I don't know. I'm kind of getting that feeling as well, which is very interesting.
Yep, there you go. Anthony Rogers right in the chat says was supposed to be a felony and he got a plea deal for a misdemeanor and only $250,000 fine. Sounds about white. I feel you. Um,
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, I'd be in jail for life on that.
yeah.
Also, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, I was just reiterating that the how he's getting punished for this. And what this might mean, like you were saying earlier, like this, like Wanda Lewis is saying, this may have been a tactic, a ploy, but Anthony Rogers right is already jumping on to what we need to be doing next. I think we're good on that issue. The next step is to organize the new cannabis board and try to get it at least one commissioner from the legalized MJ now party named. So already some action items there to do in order to get to the next step on that. Um, so just kind of interesting. Rick Fulton in the chat. Good morning. I haven't seen your name for a while. I said could be that
Hmm.
the bad guys like Hilgers and Pillen are out to stop Nebraska's ballot initiative and not just medical pot. Yeah, I think we can't put that past them for sure. Kind of they've already kind of shown what they shown their hand on what they believe on that. So they very well could be using their positions of power to do that. Yeah, interesting. Oh, he
Yeah,
said not
and
250,000, $250. Excuse me. That's the whole fine, $250 for some fake signatures?
well, it's a little more than that. According to this article, that's what I was going to mention. According to this article, yes, he was initially charged with a class 4 felony that could have landed him with 2-year prison sentence and 10,000 in fines. But he was offered a plea deal by the Attorney General's office, who, quite ironically, to Sister Wanda Lewis's point, is the same office that's challenging this whole ballot initiative to begin with. And the fact that he offered him such a plea deal is very interesting. Again, from a 2-year prison sentence and $10,000 in fines, down to a plea of a class 1 misdemeanor for falsely swearing to a circulator's affidavit, which could land him in a sentence of $1,000 and only 1 year imprisonment. So he, could still face some time, but quite the plea deal is very interesting. And the fact that, again, this is coming from the Attorney General's office, who is challenging this whole situation to begin with, is, again, quite interesting. Definitely seeing how much support the people, are given towards this issue. Again, Nebraskans across the board, various from both sides of the state, have shown that they want medical marijuana in the state. But yet again, here we have, the powers that be, quote unquote, bucking back.
That voter fraud issue is what I keep going back to, the way that they are always trying to act like there's so much voter fraud going on, and how they have punished people who would vote when they're not supposed to vote, for instance, or people that are doing anything kind of fraudulently. They've really run on this whole idea that there's this rampant voter fraud going on. They need to do all these things to stop it. It's just really interesting that this person has manipulated some signatures, but it don't seem that the energy for punishment don't seem to match what would happen in any other circumstance. It's just
Right,
I don't want
right.
to go down that rabbit hole, but it's just interesting to me that that's the case. And on this particular issue, when most people in power in this state seem to be against it, so interesting. Well, and also we can't forget it might jeopardize. We'll see what's going to actually happen with this initiative. Now we'll have
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah, and again, something the people have voted for and asked for could still fall by the wayside. So there we are. And again, beyond that, this conversation is important because education. What does this mean for financing of education, which is a huge conversation that's going to be going down in the state in the next legislative sessions? With the failed property tax attempt from the governor. He has vowed to bring that back, and those conversations are already gearing up. And again, with Trump's now statement that he will eliminate the federal board of education, all of these things are heightened as far as, again, this is all falling on Pill's shoulders. This is all falling on the state as far as the future of education in Nebraska. And again, medical marijuana can play a big part in how that's funded or not.
Boy, that's a scary thought.
It is a little bit. So again, maybe we can double back onto this in the second hour as we are preparing for our guests to come through. And I do want to, speak to them about the other ballot initiative. Not just medical marijuana, but abortion's one of the big ones that a lot of people still reeling from, not going the way a lot of people hoped, which is a area that Ivy Black Girl does a lot of work in. So I definitely want to dive into that conversation here in a second. But before then, to wrap it up and, kind of again, make the connection to education for those who haven't heard, Nebraska Examiner is reporting that Governor Pillen again has asked lawmakers to overhaul the school aid formula in 2025. And again, this is connected to his whole shtick, his whole plan to impact and decrease property taxes. The governor noted that newly elected senators, about 16 fresh faces in the legislature, might not have a complete understanding of the state's funding formula and the impact of recent legislation. The report includes data from Nebraska's 244 school districts in the previous school year and indicates how decreases in state aid led to property tax increases, which is something that, again, several chat chimers have said that they have been impacted by. A few chat chimers even mentioning that property taxes tripling, doubling in some instances. So definitely something that needs to be addressed. But again, so is education. So again, this is something that is connected at the hip and not a very easy situation to figure out. Actually, several senators kind of chiming up, not very hopeful about this whole battle that's going down at KETV, reporting that several state lawmakers said that they do agree with Governor Pillen's plan to call the overhaul, but they said this is no easy fix. State Senator Brad Von Gillern, says it's going to be tougher battle this year on the floor because there's not going to be the billions of dollars that we had in access revenue in the past couple of years. He said that a report from the Pillen administration released on Friday illustrates the flaw in the current formula, which is based on needs versus a district's ability to pay, with double-digit increases in valuations of homes in Lincoln, Millard, Papillion, La Vista, and Gretna, and meant the resources for the districts increased, resulting in drastic drops in state aid for those districts. And again, in light of what Trump is saying, those drops and changes could even be worse. So again, just kind of laying it out as far as where we stand with school funding. That conversation is going to continue. And again, we have to figure out what to do about the schools and how to fix this school situation. So that's kind of where we stand right now.
Lots to talk about on that tip for sure. We'll definitely continue the conversation more on the 8 o'clock hour if those are some of the things that you wish to talk about. And of course, this is an ongoing story that we have to keep on talking about in future stories and future visits from guests. This is always a big thing, and I'm really struck right now just about how much it's all tied together. Funding
Yeah.
funding for school. I'm thinking about times that we've reported about how the Republican Party under Ricketts before was trying to take over the school district. There's so many things that's wrapped up in this particular issue that is just going to be an ongoing thing. It's one of the most important ones, just because we're dealing with our kids in school, and that's really what it boils down to. The kids are the ones that suffer with all these conversations and all these things that we're discussing that are all tied together. So in the end, how we move and how these things move is going to reflect on how it is that they are getting taken care of ultimately. So tough proposition. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and we're going to come back. We got a special guest waiting in the wings, so stay tuned for that. Again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the God. I
Hey.
appreciate everybody who's jumping into the chat on a few things. Like I said, we'll get to it past the 8 o'clock hour. We'd love for you to hang with us and have more discussion then. Meantime, between time, please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
I'm Paul B.
Hey, Paul B.
He's Buddy the God.
Hey.
And I appreciate all the chat chimers that's jumped in, having conversations. We do have a couple special guests coming in today, so we want to make sure that we give them time and attention. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring in Nezzie Hardges from IB Black Girl. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
Not bad, not bad. I'm
right.
gonna hold my breath. Like, is the tech teching?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we hear it? Can we hear it?
We can hear you
It's
and
working.
see you.
Yeah. Take us so far. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
It's good to be here. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're on your laptop, close down all the windows that you can, so your internet can come through a little bit more clear. So just if you're on your phone, that's cool. But if you're on a laptop, sometimes Windows makes things drag. So yeah, perfect. Okay.
I think I got it.
Okay, cool.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
just a little housekeeping.
Yeah, a little housekeeping.
Got
Thank you for joining us.
Of course,
Yep.
It's good to be here.
I met you for the first time over at the elevator spot.
Mhm.
Yeah, which
Yes.
couple some cool folks over there. Kind of a place I go to sometime when I'm around downtown. I kind of hop in there and do some work. And we got some friends. Of course, Flatwater Free Press has been running out of there as well in the past. So yeah, just we've started in the scene, getting to know you, and now you're over at IB Black Girl, which is great because we've been partnering with Ashley Spivey and so on. So yeah, you just want to let people know like where we know you from, but do us a favor and tell us a little bit about yourself as well.
Yeah.
Just to let our listeners know who you are.
Well, yes, I am currently the over at IB Black Girl, but I am an implant here in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm a Southern gal from Mississippi, but I spent some
Sip.
time in the military. So through that journey, the SIP, hey. And then from that journey, I have been able to find my way here through career finding after the military. And so that's my journey to Omaha. But overall, I'm a Southern girl from Mississippi. I'm repping them at all times. Been here in Omaha for 5 years now, and it's just been an exciting time. So, hey, y'all.
Okay. Well, definitely glad to have you. A transplant, but we welcome all. It's a few transplants doing some good things. Shout out to Sister Andrew Joy Pearson in the Omaha area. So yeah, we welcome you. So again, what does that kind of mean? Or actually, before we get into what the work that you're doing with IB Black Girl, kind of ahead of that, like what led you to that, as far as how you found out about IB Black Girl, how you hooked up with Ashley Spivey. What about IB Black Girl kind of made you excited to work with them?
Well, through one of my roles, I used to work for a foundation. I was able to connect with Ashley, and she became one of the Nebraska pioneers. And so when I met her, she was just like a light, and I've been able to stay connected with her through that time. And that was back in 2021. And I was also supporting her in the IB Black Girls Business Catalyst that supports Black women-owned businesses. And so as I kind of like bounced around, went to elevator, and then I made a decision to depart. And I was just trying to figure out, like, what is the next steps? Am I even going to stay in Nebraska? And she reached out to me and was like, hey, here's this opportunity. I'm looking to find somebody to come over here and help me raise some money at IB Black Girl. And so I said, of course, like, how can I turn Ashley down? She's absolutely amazing. And so that's how I landed here at IB Black Girl. So we're having fun. We are just finished the election. I hear you guys were just talking about the outcomes and having some thought pieces surrounding the outcome of the election. And then we're still rooting for her in her own in her run. And we are trying to raise some money, and we're building out these events.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it seems like you're getting the job done. I'll say that, man. There's a lot of excitement. I was able to go to the ribbon cutting of the new facility down on the Dew. So again, there is growth with
Yes.
IB Black Girl, the new space. How's that working out so
If you
far?
have not come down to the new space yet, you have to get down to the
Man,
Anarcha
beautiful.
Center. It is an amazing, beautiful space for people who desire to be pregnant. It is a safe space for our community where we're able to connect with our health community partners and bring them into a space where they can say they can come here instead of people coming to them, and feel comfortable as they make decisions about their future of becoming parents. So I think it is an amazing space. If you have not had the opportunity to come down and tour, please reach out to us. We will happy to connect with you and show you around.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what's
It's
up.
a beautiful, beautiful space. Yeah, it was definitely able to get the tour. Can you kind of break down? I know there will be some resources there, some classes, some things like that. Can you kind of break down some of those resources that'll be available?
Absolutely. So we Anarcha was is centered around as you know, Black women, I mean, Ivy Black Girls supports Black women, femmes, and girls. The work that we do is centered around their reproductive health. But we know that with that targeted approach with Black women, femmes, and girls, with the work that we do at the legislature and at the Capitol in Lincoln will take a universal effect for all women across the state of Nebraska. However,
Mhm.
um, the goal of the Anarcha Center is again to provide a safe space for pregnant persons to come in and be able to get the resources that they need. So we like to consider ourselves a hub. But some of the physical locations inside of the space that would be beneficial to the community is our wellness rooms. We have wellness rooms that will be available for physicians, for vendors who provide certain services for pregnant persons to be able to come in and provide those services. We're not we don't provide a service, but we are just opening that space up to those individuals. So anything such as low risk appointments where you're pregnant, you need the blood pressure check and you want to meet with your physician, or if it's postpartum and you need to weigh your baby, we have um baby weight machine, so that way you can just kind of do checkups with with your child. Or if you just need a space to like get away and just have a little quiet, we have those rooms are available as well. We have two community rooms where if you or your organization is looking to host an event or a meeting, we have two community spaces that is fully AV equipped to come in and host those events. So, and then a beautiful courtyard as well. Let me not forget
Mhm.
about that. And we want to
Yeah.
say thank you to our funders because they made a decision not to put their names on the building. So the bricks that we have in our courtyard, we are dedicating to our community to be able to honor those individuals in their life or themselves or their children who has experienced reproductive health injustices.
Mm.
So if you are looking for a way to honor the individuals in your family who's experienced loss or an injustice in their reproductive health, please reach out. We would love for you to purchase a brick, and we would love to honor that in our courtyard.
That's what's up.
Yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful courtyard if you haven't seen it.
I'm thinking about that quiet room. That's what I'm gonna be sneaking in there with a fake baby. Like I need some quiet, y'all.
Not a fake baby. Oh, that's
Yeah.
hilarious. That's hilarious. And also, if I remember correctly, will there be doula classes there being given?
So we do have our doula passage program that we are hosting in our downstairs community space, and so we currently about 2 weeks ago just launched. We just 2 weeks ago just launched our doula passage program cohort 3, I believe, and it is going great. So yeah, I'll be Black Girl. We do a doula passage program. The goal is we want to be intentional in making sure that we have Black
Mhm.
doulas, more Black doulas in our community to assist with our Black women who are going through and experiencing pregnancy.
Man, life changing, life saving work. Again, too many sisters, passing, trying to give life. So again, a doula in the room or a doula along the process can make so much more difference. That was something that me and my family talked about when we were talking about having our last child. So yeah, yeah, big
Yeah.
work. And speaking of that, again, there is an event that we don't want to, let fall by the wayside. But I guess before we get into that, I kind of see you peeking at the chat, so I will say, we'll get to the chat as far as some questions coming in. So we try to ask our guests not to pay too much attention to the chat and not get distracted. But Paul, you got any questions, or you want to get to the chat? What you thinking?
Yeah, well, I got the same question Ceci Jean got in the chat. How much is a brick? We talking about bricks in the
A
courtyard.
brick is two bricks in the courtyard. Yes, so it's a part of our brick by brick campaign, and the bricks are $250, and you will be able to inscribe on there in memory of, in honor of. You can use a brick and just say it's from your family to representing your family. You can represent a specific individual, and you can reach out to me, and I'm happy to share more information. And I'm pretty sure I'll be giving my information out at the end of this. So yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if we want people to again support the work that's being done. And even if you can't purchase a brick, maybe you pull up to some of the events going on. So again, we have that brunch coming up.
Absolutely.
Which is that another fundraiser event? What's going on with that? Let the people know.
It is a fundraiser. We will have opportunities for you to donate at this event, but more importantly, this Kiki is about celebrating the Black women in our community, celebrating all the work that I Be Black Girl has done up until this point, and then also just bringing a bunch of beautiful Black women together to just get them out of their regular everyday lives and just celebrating them, honoring them, having a Kiki. Having a Kiki is an event where you get to share some tea, you get to just share your story, have a little gossip here, say things that you wouldn't say when you're around those white spaces, and
y'all gonna be kikiing. I got it.
So it's just a space for you to open up, be yourself, and have a good time.
Got it. Y'all gonna be kikiing up in there.
Yes. And it's our birthday. This is our birthday. The Kiki is like the origin story of I Be Black Girl, how we started, how we came about. In 2017, Ashley had this amazing idea to bring together a bunch of women. She thought that there may be about 50, but it was over 100 women that pulled up to the spot. And there was some intention in wanting to give back. What's that?
I said, and a few men, because I was there.
Yes, and the intention was to see if they can, like, how can we give back to the community? How do we love on each other? And there was an idea to raise $5,000. And with the amount of women that pulled up to this event, we were able to raise $50,000. And then out of that brunch came the birth of I Be Black Girl. So one of the things that I wanted to do, and Ashley wanted to do when I came to I Be Black Girl, is like, how do we bring this back? Like, we need to bring this back. This is the origin story. How do we bring this back? How do we make this a signature event? So you can expect to have the Kiki brunch annually every year here at I Be Black Girl. Beautiful. So if you we're intentional about this event being about Black women. So if you are a Black woman, femme, or a girl, we invite you to the spot. Pull up, bring a friend, tell your mom, your granny, and your cousins too, and pull up. It's gonna be an amazing time.
Bring the squad, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful space for the sisters. yeah, it's beautiful space for the sisters to do their thing, man. So definitely check it out. And of course, you're supporting a powerful brand and a beautiful mission at the same time. So get down.
I put the link in the chat for you to register for the Kiki event as well. So hit that and get that going immediately. We need to talk about the keynote speaker too. Let us know who Raynell Super Stewart is.
Yes. So we chose, if you don't know who Super Scent is, oh my gosh, you absolutely need to look her up. So she is from New Orleans. She is a mother, but she started this incredible cosmetic business called The Crazy. We thought Super was a super powerful person to this space because of her experience of motherhood and managing a business, managing multiple businesses and brands. And we felt that she would be able to share her journey in a way that resonates with the women that will be a part of this event. So, we are just super duper inspired by her work, and we feel that what she will be able to talk about, what she will bring to the table at this event, her inspiration will be amazing. And we are super excited to speak with her. We will be raffling off some of her makeup palettes. She has the crayon case. The event is actually centered, is a nod to her. The theme of the event is Black Women in Color. So we're asking everyone who registers and comes to the event to pick your favorite crayon out of the crayon box and wear that color. Like, be colorful. That is the goal for this event. And then you will have the opportunity to win a palette from the crayon case, which is Super Sense brand.
Nice. Okay.
That's what's
Man,
up.
doing it big for the ladies. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely hit that link, register, tap in, tap in.
Yeah.
Man, there was one last topic I wanted to pivot to, but before we get to that, Paul, I want to give the chat, give my co-host.
Yeah, not much in the chat. If you have any questions for her, let us know. We're
Yeah, please do.
now in the 8 o'clock hour, second hour of First Guy Omaha in the morning. We're gonna hang with her for a few more minutes, just for a couple more questions. So if you have
Yeah,
any questions, please put them in the chat, and we might as well go ahead and put your information in now. How
yeah,
can they
yeah.
reach you?
So you can reach me at Nezzie at ibblackgirl.com. I mean .org. I'm sorry. So Nezzie, Nezzie at ibblackgirl.org. Or you can reach out to me via phone at 402-979-7310 if you would like any additional information about the event. Tickets are on sale right now. Single admission tickets are $75. We do have VIP tickets where you'll have priority seating and a meet and greet with Super Scent. So those are $120. If you or your organization is interested in sponsoring this event, we have two sponsorships available. We have the Changemaker sponsorship, which reserves your own table for 10 individuals that you can invite. Or if you cannot fill your table, we'll be happy to assist you in filling your table. And that sponsorship is $1,200. And if you are a business who is just looking to get your name out there, you just want some visibility, we do have our champion sponsorship, which is $500, and it reserves one seat for you. And then we have additional promotion resources available as well.
Nice, man. Tap in, y'all. Tap in, tap in.
It's coming up, only 10 days away to the November
Yeah.
23rd. This is
10
going down. Where's
days.
the event going to be at?
At the Hitch. So the Hitch on I believe it's off of 72nd and Dodge. It's a part of the PJ Morgan building. And so we'll be at the Hitch.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, make sure.
Haven't been there
We'll
yet,
have
yeah.
shopping. I can't forget the most, but there'll be some other shopping available. We have other small business. We'll have 10 small businesses there for everyone to come and shop while they're mixing and mingling. You will be able to have a mimosa and do a little bit of shopping before and after you have your brunch.
There you go.
There you go. Can't go wrong with a little shop therapy. Man.
Yeah.
Nice. Man, it sounds like a very exciting event. So yeah, definitely check that out, ladies. But before we let you go, we do have some special guests. We do have some other things to get into. But I did wanted to speak to you and IB Black Girl about some of the election results, especially again the abortion situation. As two men, we didn't really feel comfortable speaking about that in detail, but did want to shed light, and acknowledge that situation is a situation in the state of Nebraska as far as abortion rights. And of course, I expect, especially with, hopefully Sister Ashley Spivey in the legislature, IB Black Girl being front and center in that fight. So could you kind of speak to, just what the future holds for IB Black Girl in the fight for reproductive rights?
Absolutely. Our work will not stop. It will continue. The fight will just be even more now in the results of this election. We were disappointed in that the Protect Our Rights petition, it didn't go through. So that was very disheartening. However, we are even more intentional now to ensure that we are available to the state and this community to be able to change that. We are the first and only reproductive justice organization in this state. And so we have already laid the groundwork in changing the abortion laws in Nebraska. Right now it's the 12-week abortion ban, and it shall remain unless that something different happens in the foreseeable future. But we are hoping that with the work that we are doing in the legislature and will be doing in 2025, that we will be able to make some change and be able to add additional voices to the legislator that will be able to advocate for the women in the state, for the abortion rights in this state.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. Again, however we can help,
We're
we're
not
definitely
going anywhere.
supportive.
We're still here. We're still in the fight. We're still in the race. So it's all we're gonna do everything in our power to ensure the protection of women.
Yeah, definitely. And again, with Sister, Ashley Spivey hopefully making her way to the legislature, you can only assume that that's going to actually reach another level that we haven't seen before from I Be Black Girl. So exciting, exciting. And again, we're standing right beside you. However we can help. First Guy Omaha's down.
Before
But
we get out of
yes,
here, we want to.
it is more important now. If you have not been a supporter of I Be Black Girl before, we say donate. Donate will be able to push in our operations to be able to stay in this fight. So more important now than it ever has been. Please, if you can give anything and support this organization, go to our website, donate $5, donate $50. If you can give a monthly donation of $15, please do so. We are looking to make changes as it relates to abortion and women's healthcare, reproductive healthcare.
There you go. We got one question in the chat. Just want to address that real quick before we let you go. Wondering if the sister believes we are out organized, if people were confused, a messaging issue, or all three that led to disappointing outcomes. Also, when can we next bring up a ballot initiative for reproductive justice?
I will say that we did an amazing job through the Protect Our Rights, how we organized, how we went out, we door knocked, we called banks, we reached out to everyone. I will say that dollars matter. Dollars matter, and our opposition did everything in their power to confuse individuals who were voters in this. They were looking to confuse voters in this election, and they did just that with the protections of women and children. However, we understand that money speaks, and they were able to push their initiative forward, and it actually worked. But again, we will be working in legislation in 2025 to continue pushing and advocating for to remove the 12-week abortion ban.
Okay.
There you go.
Appreciate your answer on that. We'll definitely gonna have to have you back and talk a little bit more about what's going on with I Be Black Girl, because it's turned out to be a very strong organization here, and want to learn more about what you guys are doing. Of course, you got resources for people that we talked about, and then we also kind of dove into some of the advocacy that you guys got going on as well here. So yeah, I would definitely encourage everybody to go check it out and dig a little deeper, try to find out exactly what's going on there. You can always reach out to Nezzie or anybody over there at I Be Black Girl, really, that will give you some answers on how you can help, what you can do, and encourage you to support organizations in North Omaha, especially that help Black women. We're all about it. So I appreciate you coming on. It was good talking to you. I think last time I saw you was at Benson Theater. We were having a little bit of a good time at Benson Theater on some event.
Yes, we were.
Well, Andrea Joy Pearson. It was the Mississippi. I was with the Mississippi crew.
I think somebody asked what part of Mississippi I was from. I'm from Biloxi, Mississippi, so the Gulf Coast. So
okay. Biloxi.
But if you know anything about Macomb, that's where my beach originally from.
Okay. Pops in the chat. He said he lived in Meridian, Mississippi for a bit. I saw Anthony Rogers Wright also shout out Jackson. So okay, and then of course we call Nebraska Mississippi of the Midwest. So
yeah, we do.
It's a lot of people from Mississippi here. It was shocking how many people from Mississippi are in Omaha. I was like, okay.
Yeah. So we'd be having a country good time. I love it. We have to hang again soon, and it was really good to see you. And thank you so much for getting up this morning and coming on with us.
Absolutely. I can't wait to be on again.
Sounds good.
Best wishes. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.
All right, there you go, Nezzie
Hey.
Hardges, powerhouse. Like I said, I got introduced to her like she was running elevator at one point. All the owners were like, "Yeah, man, we can't do nothing without her." So powerhouse. You know what I'm saying? Another powerhouse woman there. We'll take a quick break.
Yeah.
We have our next special guest in the wings coming up. So we want to give him some time as well, ladies and gentlemen. Damany Rahn is coming, so stay tuned. We'll take a quick break and come right back and join him. First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B.
Paul B.
Hey. We'll be right back, y'all. Welcome back. Your dreams are your ticket out.
Hey.
Omaha in the morning. Clowning around on a Wednesday. Man, I've stepped all over your line. You try to get the Andros on too. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
You be stepping on Buddy the Guy's line. You doing over here, man? Hooey, it's 8:11 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, again, this is Wednesday, the 13th of November. Really appreciate everybody that's joined us and share the show on your page as well, and get as many folks talking as we can. And thanks for the questions and the comments and the respect to our previous guest, Nezzie Hardges. Really appreciate her coming on. That was super, super awesome. I just want to give a quick shout out to Kethro, who is not just a friend of First Guy Omaha, but First Guy Omaha fam.
Yeah.
And he gets down. He's been doing a thing over at the Bemis called the Low End, and he's got a special guest coming. Pamela Z is going to be in the house at Bemis coming up on the 14th. It's going to be a hot event. If you haven't been paying attention to what the Low End is doing, they've been doing some crazy stuff, audio experimentation and all kinds of good stuff. Pamela's a composer, performer, and media artist working with voice, live electronic processing, sample sound, and video, a pioneer of live digital looping techniques. You see everybody doing all this looping and stuff right now. She was a pioneer with that, and she's been working all around the world. So this is one of those ones not to miss. I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat as well. Shout out to fam, First Guy Omaha fam, Kethro, for putting these highly anticipated events together. And if you've been missing them, like I've been missing some,
man,
I highly encourage you to pick back up on it, because he's bringing folks in, international talent in, and really showing what's going on here on the cutting edge of experimental sound and everything else. Shout out to Kethro, shout out to the Bemis, shout out to Pamela Z. Hope to see you there for sure.
Yeah. Do you know if they still do the jazz nights, him and DJ Word?
Yeah, no, I don't think they've been doing the Jazz Night broadcast, but this is something that we've been talking about, maybe picking up and doing some other stuff with. Depending on what's going on. 2025 got some prospects for some other kinds of plans that we're trying to. I don't want to speak on them yet, but
yeah.
Got some stuffs and things, like George Clinton say, some stuffs and things coming.
Man.
And hopefully we'll be able to get back with those cats on some Jazz Night stuff as well. So, man, shout out to Kethro on that.
Yeah.
We don't want to wait and let our special guest wait in the wings too long, so we're gonna go ahead and bring him on, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, my man Damany Rahn from Heart Ministries in the house. Good morning, brother.
Good morning. How you fellas this morning?
Doing well. Always a pleasure to speak to you, brother Dom. Again, for those who don't know, head man over at Heart Ministry Center now. So congratulations again on the position, and welcome.
Thank you, fellas. It's an honor to be a part of what you guys got going on. It's a movement,
man. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Dom is one of them cats that's just like the epitome of positivity. Every time I get around him, we always smiling and laughing about something, man. I love it when we're hanging out. So I appreciate you coming on. This is the first time you've been on the show too, huh?
It is. I hope it's not the last, fellas.
Man, yeah. Likewise.
Some justice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So again, we're all familiar. You know, we can keep ha, but for those who aren't familiar, with Brother Dom, again, can you kind of break down a little bit of who you are, where you're from, and what it is that you do?
Yeah, Damany Rahn, born and raised North Omaha. Went to Ron Colley High School, and once I graduated Ron Colley, I went off to HBCU, Langston University.
Hey,
Yeah, go Lions. So I went to HBCU there, where really I grew up, became a young man. Met my wife there, and she is the light of my life. And she keeps me grounded, really, to be honest with you all. And then I came back here to Omaha and for a little while, and decided to work here at Mutual of Omaha, and then I decided to move out of state, which didn't work out for me. Moved to the West Coast, and then it was a trying time of my life. My mother was sick and dying, and so I moved back here to take care of her. And then from there, it kind of got into the world that I'm in today, nonprofit world of working with folks in the community. And then I found Heart Ministry Center about 10 years ago. 2015, I was, again, another shift or pivot in my life. And so I needed something different. And I ran into Heart Ministry Center, and it's the only place I'd like to be, really. So
man.
Yeah. So,
Beautiful spot.
Now we got to get with you on this, because so Heart Ministry is right there on 24th Street, like we've been telling people, it's right across the street from Culture House, for our audience that knows about Culture House and stuff like that. And when we tell them where it's at and what the building is, they, oh yeah, I know about that. And then they say, but we don't know what is going on in there. We know there's a laundromat, we know that, and for a little while I couldn't help. I couldn't fill them in. Like I worked with y'all, have been over there, and still to this day keep learning about new programs and other stuff that you guys got going on, like the housing thing that's coming up now recently. But I'm working with you guys right now on a video project that is helping, that is getting some testimonials from people that have benefited from the dental office there, which I didn't know you had until that thing came up. So could break down everything y'all doing over there at Heart Ministry, man.
How much time we got?
Yeah, right. That's good. Right. I'll keep it as succinct as possible. So I like to start with our mission, because that really gives you an overview of what we do. So Paul and Buddy, it's our mission is providing food, healthcare, and a way forward to people severely affected by poverty in the Omaha area. And so everything we do is a tentacle from our mission. We stay in our lane. And so last year we distributed more than 4 million pounds of food. Food's the sort of the first part of that mission, providing food. Distributed 4 million pounds of food, and on a weekly basis, or daily basis, I should say, we see anywhere from 100 to 150 people. Sometimes that number ticks up, higher than 200 plus. All in all, 4 million pounds of food, and probably 130,000 people served, somewhere in that ballpark last year.
Wow.
Yep. Healthcare clinic. We just added a nurse practitioner, pediatrician. We've got 2 mental health therapists in the space. Oh, that's nice. Thanks. And last year we saw somewhere around 3,500 people. These services are for free, right? So dental, mental health, PT, OT, vision. We have a vision clinic. We just had the mammography truck come out in the last couple of months. So I think we saw maybe 10 to 20 individuals in that space. It's a partnership with Creighton University. And so we're excited about the work happening in our clinic, because I'll say this to you: during the pandemic, we had individuals who would not go to their doctor or another clinic. They trusted the work we were doing at our Monin Healthcare Clinic. And so we really take this thing serious. And so Monin Healthcare, is the second part of our mission. And then A Way Forward, which is broken down into two parts: Fresh Start, which is our most intense form of case management, meaning those individuals are with us 15 to 20 weeks out of the year. They work in our space, in the food distribution space. As they're working with us, they're working on some skills, some soft skills, whether that be communication, whether that be being reliable, consistent, showing up, suiting up, and doing the work. And then as they work through that process, some of those folks are in recovery. Some of those folks are coming out of prison. Some of those folks are, in an Oxford home or some type of living situation that helps them grow. And so as we work through those situations, we help find them a job on the back end of that 15 to 20 weeks. They graduate the program, and then we work with them after as they're, looking at their success, and we're working with them to maintain that success on the back end with an individual that works with them with some touch points. And then the second part of A Way Forward is what's called Willing Partner. It is really an open concept of case management where it's individuals who come in and they may just need a leap forward. They may just need a little bit of help moving forward with rent or utilities. But it's called Willing Partner for a reason, fellas, because we're working with individuals who want something in their life. We're not talking about the individual who's really not interested in making, taking some steps or setting some goals. We're talking about individuals who may work, may be underworked or underemployed, I should say, and they just want to get to the next step in their life, right? And so along the way, we'll assist them with some bills so that they can move forward in whatever direction they're going in. And then the evolution of all of what I just mentioned, our Fresh Start, is our social enterprise. You mentioned the laundry, Paul. Mm-hmm. About 5 years ago, we determined that there was a statistic out there that said, 1 in 5 kids don't go to school because they don't have clean clothes. The embarrassment, the shame associated with that, and so our one of the things that is important for us is to treat everyone well that comes into our door. So our tagline, I don't want to just call it a tagline, but it is what we believe and how we live. It is dignity for all. So any and everyone who comes to our doors, you're going to get treated in a dignified way, right? Just real quick. And I don't know how much time I have, but I'm on a roll now. And I'm going to come back to your question, Paul. But when I was a kid, and I tell this story, when I was a kid, I was an individual whose family needed to survive by going to pantries, right? Back then it was called the cheese line, okay? And today it's just a little bit different. The dignity associated with what we do at the Heart Ministry Center is a whole lot different from when I was a kid, and you'd kind of get shuffled a box without a smile, without love, without any care, and without any connection to the next steps in your life, right? And so the thing that we provide, what I truly believe is a lot of love, a lot of community, a lot of compassion and dignity. But we're not just the answer. So I don't want anyone to think we're out here saving someone. We're just trying to help folks along the way as they help and support themselves. And so as they do that, we want to make sure they're treated well every step along the way.
I was actually going to comment on that before you said it, because that's one of the things that's been standing out to me as a person that's over there working with you guys on some projects and seeing firsthand people that are coming in, need some help. Refugee people coming in from other countries, even that need a little bit of help to get to the next level. Everybody is treated with real respect and dignity is the word that, I can attest to the fact that that's not just a tagline. Yep. I'm seeing every person that works there treats the next person like they're just another colleague. Yeah. And they just, and we all need a little bit of help here and there. So, and I even got family members that have done some volunteer work and stuff like that at the ministry. They say the same thing. even when you're volunteering, you're not getting treated bad, so
Yeah.
I like that idea. We try to practice that. That's one of our tenets over here at First Sky Omaha, is that as far as our conversations are concerned, is that we need to be respectful with each other, treat each other as if we're speaking face to face and with some dignity, and even if we disagree, we can still treat each other with respect. So we really gravitate to you guys on that tip for sure, man.
Actually,
Paul, we take the stance that it could be me, it could be you, right?
And it
so,
has been.
so when you do that, and look, and not to get political, but I'm going to tell you, keep your eyes open, because it could be me,
man.
You, right? So
it has been.
I want to speak to that. Like, I seen that the way I met you, Brother Dom. Again, I was doing a story during the pandemic on the food lines and how the food lines had grown. If you remember that those pantry lines at our ministry center were wrapping all the way around, going all the way from 16th to 24th and back. I mean, it was getting pretty crazy. And the thing that was striking to me in the story was you were seeing BMWs, Range Rovers. Like, there were people who you wouldn't think that would need that type of assistance. But again, our ministry center is not just out poverty pimping. They're out there to help anybody and everybody who actually needs help. And I definitely wanted to acknowledge that.
Look, great point. Buddy, you take me back. We pivoted during the pandemic, and we went from an in-building situation to a drive up, right? And when we did that drive up, we're on 22nd Street. The lines were backed up to, let's say, 16th, 15th, just to get food. I mean, isn't that a shame, right? I mean, our hope is to put ourselves out of business, right? I mean, literally, right? Food, healthcare, and a way forward. It may be a little utopian to think, folks don't need to go to a pantry to get food or nutrition for their table. People don't need to go to a place to get healthcare or help in terms of a way forward in their life. But we hope to someday not have to do that, right? And I know many nonprofits say that, right? But this is what we're talking about today. And we kind of have a 5-point strategy, right? To look at how do we put ourselves out of business and really put that individual who's a willing partner, what we call community members, in business, right? So we got 5 ways in which we hope it works, and we do that. So that way we put ourselves out of business and those individuals are doing their thing. So a couple things. Home ownership. It's important because that's what builds wealth, right? That's one of the main ways wealth is built through home ownership. Okay. The cliff effect. We have individuals. I know of individuals that, I'll put it this way, and it breaks my heart. Individuals who have said, I can't take a raise because if I do, my benefits will be cut off, right? So if I take this raise of $1 or $2, we're not talking, to the point where it's a different tax bracket. Essentially, we're talking a few more dollars. There are individuals whose, because of that cliff effect, they would drop off and their SNAP benefits, their Title 20 benefits would be drastically reduced to the point where they would either have to get another job, right? Or be in a more dire situation than what they are. Civic engagement, right? We hope to educate folks, right? In our building, in our space. We've got we got a classroom that sits 60 people, right? And one of the things that we do with all the technology. And so one of the things we do internally is to make sure folks have the education necessary to move forward as it pertains to home ownership, as it pertains to the cliff effect, excuse me, and their own desire. Because part of it comes down to desire, right? What do you want to do in your life, in your family, right? Because at some points, a little bit of apathy is set in for us. We got to do something. You got to do something, right? If not for you, do it for your kids, right? That's the other point. Life insurance. Life insurance, right? So let me give you a quick story. My sister, who was 6 of us, we were closest in age. I'll be 48. She'd be 46. She passed away during the pandemic, right? And I'm sharing my heart because it's this important to us, right? She did not have health insurance, or excuse me, life insurance, right? And so when the family came together, we came together at Scooters on 30th and Ames.
Headquarters.
All right. And one of my other sisters says, hey, look, let's just post up some signs right here on 30th Street, like most individuals do when, and I would say most, but some do when family members die and you need to go and get $1 or $2. And let's put it on Facebook that our sister passed away and let's go get some money. And I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, no knock to anyone who does that. It's much love and I'll give $1. But the thing of it is what if those efforts and energy were put into life insurance? Absolutely not. Right. And I'm still mending and repairing relationship because I don't want to do that. There's no dignity associated for me. My truth, there's not dignity associated with that. You do what you have to do. Right. But what if you were able to get, $30 together, because we all got more money than we say we have. Right. $30 together and you get a little bit of life insurance. That goes a long way. Right. That's the other thing that builds wealth. Unfortunately, a person has to die in order to build that wealth, right? But that is the reality of it. We all have to go that direction. At least leave something behind when you do, right? Or at least pay for the funeral, right? So that's a big part of the 5 points that we're looking at, right? And then entrepreneurship, right? I got to tell you, and I'll say this again, own personal story. When my wife got pregnant with my son, he'll be 18 here in a couple of weeks. I was 30 years old, right? And I made X amount of dollars, okay? And because I made X amount, I had just enough for food. I had just enough for, and I got to tell you, I've been in this field a long time, right? Nonprofit. And so I always kept a second job or a third job. You just had to.
You have to.
Right? You just have to. Love and compassion doesn't pay the bills,
man.
But your heart gets filled because you're helping another individual, right? Pregnant with my son, right? And I go down to a nearby daycare, and they told me what daycare was going to cost. Now this is 18 years ago.
Man.
Buddy, that was my response. My second response was tears, because I don't know how I'm going to take care of this boy. I don't know how I'm going to be able to go to work, how my wife's going to be able to go to work and carry out my duties as a husband, as a father, soon to be, right? And do it in a way that's effective and again, with dignity. So I'm talking about entrepreneurship. The third thing I did after I laughed, just like you did, buddy, after I cried, like, what am I going to do? I'm standing at that daycare in the doorway after I left, right? What am I going to do? The third thing I did was I said, you know what? I'm going to go get a truck. So the spirit of entrepreneurship is in this community. When you just have to do what you have to do, you're going to find a way to do it, right? And so our fifth point there is entrepreneurship. What can we do? Who can we partner with in the community, which we know who those folks are, right? I'm going to shout out Julian Young. We just met with him the other day. We may be partnering with him. They do great work over there with Young Bank. Who can we partner with, right? So that we're staying in our lane, doing the work of the mission, which is food, healthcare, and a way forward. But then bringing in those folks and those partners who do what they do best, right? And so that expands all of our bandwidth. And then what it does is it puts back into our community, right? So I went out and got this truck, right? I already had a sort of a tractor lawnmower. And so my pops and I decided we were going to go and get some ramps for this truck, right? And we're going to cut grass. So I just used what was around me at the time, okay? And within about 2 to 3 weeks, I had about 20 to 30 lawns I needed to take care of. Now, the 2 jobs I had at that time took care of school loan, for mortgage, for food on the table, car payments, et cetera, life insurance, because I made sure I always have that, right? But I didn't have enough money for Similac or Enfamil. My son had a little stomach issue, so he needed special Similac, right? The diapers, the wipes, et cetera, and daycare, right? And so because of I didn't have enough money, it caused me to go out and look at what can I do to provide for my family and make sure this boy has diapers, right? And I'm not, so that's what I did. So the spirit of entrepreneurship is in this community, right? It is just us extracting what that thing is in you, that gift you already have in you that you've been sort of sitting on, right? So really, those are the 5 things that we really, really would like to do in this community that will, one, hopefully put us out of business here, right? And I keep saying that, and I know a lot of places say that, right? But I feel that. I feel if you got life insurance, you got the spirit of entrepreneurship, you've got education as it pertains to your politicians and the individuals in this community who are, either legislation or city council or, even school board, right? That's part of that civic engagement piece that we're educating people on. And then the Cliff effect, knowing what you can and cannot do as it pertains to your benefits, right? But how do we get people off of that out of that situation, and then home ownership, right? In the last year, what I can tell you is it's working. We had an individual that came through our Fresh Start program who purchased a home, and again, that's a partnership with 3 other organizations. We can't do it on our own. We wouldn't think of it, right? 3 other organizations that we work with to get those individuals home ownership, and it took some time, but it's proven to be effective. Yeah.
That's what's up. I want to mention you keep on mentioning so that we can put ourselves out of business, which you keep saying. A lot of people say that. I got to tell you, I've been working in nonprofit sector here for the last 7-8 years now. I ain't heard nobody say it. So I know that's what you're supposed to be saying as a nonprofit.
Well,
but you've said it more times in this interview than I've heard it in the last 8 years. So to be reminded that we're the nonprofits are here to solve a problem, or they're here to attack a mission. And once that mission is done and solved, then they can dissolve and move on to another problem. I really appreciate that. Also, I wanted to mention in the chat, brother, the much well-respected activist and brother in the community, brother Saul Asaka, is in the chat right now.
Hey,
yeah, man. He said, "Man, Dom, I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work and make us proud."
Yeah, man.
To get the co-sign by brother Asaka is huge. So
yeah, shout out to brother Sal, the Simple Foundation, getting down.
Look, let me tell you guys this, and I'll say this real quick. I keep mentioning about putting ourselves out of business. That doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen by accident, right? It's going to take intergenerational wealth, right? It's going to take intergenerational wealth, and those 5 points attack that intergenerational wealth, right? Some might call it radical. I call it humanity, right? I mean, why not? Why not have the ability to get life insurance? Why not have the ability to get off of the cliff effect and get a decent paying job, right? Why not get education, right? Again, but it is what is your self-determination to get some of those things. It doesn't happen overnight. And then home ownership, right? Why not us helping individuals again take the stigma out of how difficult it is to get into home ownership? It does take some work. You got to clean that. You got to clean that credit up, right? You got to do some work to get there. Let me tell you about Sal real quick.
Okay.
So I mentioned I went to Langston University, right? If it were not for Sal and a few other brothers, I'm just name them, Sal Asaka, Terrence Jackson, who's my cousin, Travis Salas, who I'd known since, I don't know, maybe 13, 14, who worked at the wrestling club I wrestled at, right? If it were not for those brothers, right, I would not be where I am today. Right. Those guys mentored me in ways that they didn't even know. Right. It was the modeling that they gave me. And I would not have had the ability to get to Langston University in Langston, Oklahoma, if it were not for those brothers taking me to college, picking me up, right, at times, right? And so they were just a phone call away. And so those guys were my mentors in growing up. Look, I grew up in public housing. And so the Housing Authority had a program where individuals that, again, self-determination, what do you want? You got to go get it. So is this important to you? Is your future important, right? What goals do you have? So they had this leadership group that I was a part of. I was blessed to be a part of, right? And it might have been about 7 or 8 kids, teenagers at the time. And really what it was an opportunity, right, to get out of the hood where you were and get into a space where other like-minded individuals were trying to do something, right? So I'm going to tell you, if it were not for those brothers, I would not be where I am today. They came and picked me up, dropped me off. We worked with kids at the LaFern Williams Center over in South Omaha. We picked up kids from Pleasant View, from Hilltop, from, all over, right? And went over to South O and knocked on doors at South Omaha projects to get kids out. So shout out to those fellas. Much love. I wouldn't be where I am today.
That's crazy.
Nothing like having mentors.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sal's brother Uzman was a mentor of mine when I was Omega Squire back in high school. So yeah, big shout out to those brothers giving back to the community. And you see the fruit that it bears. So
that's right.
Beautiful. Before we get out of here and time gets too far, I did want to talk about an event that you have coming up that we're spotlighting. One of those 5 tenets that you mentioned as far as housing and home ownership. If I'm not mistaken, next week you have an event with our brother Bo, who's coming in to again give free consultations for the people. Can you kind of speak to that?
Yeah, come on out next week. And I unfortunately do not have that date. I apologize, but I'll get that date to you guys. Say again.
I think we have that. 1 second. Yeah. No, but you can continue.
Bigley, is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So come out next week and we'll have some of that education that I was talking about, right? In terms of home ownership, again, partnerships with others in the community. We couldn't do that work on our own. There it is. Okay. Yep.
There it is. So assess your credit, income, and debts.
Yep.
Discover your buying power. Get pre-qualified for a home purchase, and you can make an appointment for a free consultation. That's what's up. We all talk about home ownership, and we talk about this all the time. The follow the money situation. What we can do to create some kind of wealth, and we've had dealing with the land bank, and we've had people on that are doing some development now, like Brother Don Curry, and so this is we are right there with you on the fact that this is something we need to be looking at, especially in a time when big corporations are coming in and buying up properties, and especially in the North Omaha area, and it's hard to even get your hands on some ownership right now in this market, but there's still some ways to do it. So I appreciate you guys providing some information here on that. Definitely get down, call for more information, 402-451-2321. And definitely check it out. When is this? This is Wednesday, November 20th. So coming up next week.
1 to 4. Shout out to Arbor Bank. They've been a great partner of ours for the last few years. We love the work they do with us. They come out and do budgeting classes.
Nice.
Miss Nakisha Baker out there has been great to us. And so we really appreciate those guys coming out and doing the work. As I mentioned, we couldn't do this on our own, right? So you got to have relationship and partners to carry out the work of intergenerational wealth. So we're one entity, and if anyone's out there listening to other nonprofits, you got to have relationships to do the work, right? And then you got to have, we're only as good as our people. So shout out to our staff, right? Got a great staff over here at Hart, and we couldn't carry out the work that we do without the hearts and the execution that our staff does on a daily basis.
Man, shout out to Chad Chimer, Amy H. No Dot.
Yeah,
right?
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
Part of the
Hey, it
fam.
looks like you got a LU grad in the house, Heather Williams, saying "Go Lions." That's what's up.
I love it. Yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
okay. Yeah, HBCUs.
Thank you, Heather. That's
Represent.
yeah.
Paul, you got any questions? You want to go to the chat?
I didn't. Yeah, I kind of wanted to go ahead and let the brother go here. We ran a little short on time, so I love the fact that we got to you got to come on and tell some of your stories. This
Man,
Man.
is what I wanted to happen in this interview, and not just us asking a bunch of questions, but you got great stories and great reasons why you're doing what you're doing, and things that's happening over there. I hope that we've able to make sure that everybody understands like what Heart Ministry is doing. You can always go over there and ask questions. You can go over there, as you can see, you won't be treated funny when you go over there if you need some help. And it's not, it's really, like you said, like, I'm glad, buddy, you brought up, some of the cars that were running through the pantry.
Man.
Like sometimes people feel a little bit like they don't want to, I make a little too much. I don't really need that kind of help, but you do need that kind of help.
Right.
And you
That's
can
right.
go over there without getting looked at sideways when you go
Yep.
get it. And so, I appreciate that you guys are like that. Well, one more thing I do want to say, because you are a nonprofit organization, so you absolutely take donations.
Yep.
We have a little bit of a follow the money question as well when it comes to every organization. Who are some of your donors? What's some of the ways that you guys raise funds in order to be able to do these pantries that are helping so many people and so on and so forth? Where's the money coming from?
Great question. So what I would tell you is we partner with the Food Bank for the Heartland. They source food better than anyone, so that saves us a lot of time and energy. And then, if you think of a foundation out there, more than likely they do business with us, right? Probably a little bit over half of our budget is written in grants, and so we have relationships across the city. And regionally, there's some other regional foundations that we work with that are out there, and it's not hard to find those individuals, right? Those organizations, right? But what is more complicated is making sure you have a relationship, right? It's not hard work, but it is complicated, right? And so making sure you have a relationship with those organizations, so that way, you have to have a great message and a great mission. For those individuals out there listening, great message and a great mission, but even better relationships. It matters, right? So, you could. It's not hard to find those foundations out there. There are many of them, right? Just to name a few that are out there. You have Doherty, you have Sherwood, you got Tenaska, you got. There's so many foundations and then each foundation, does something a little bit different in terms of their civic responsibility. Some may not. You may not speak to something that one of them does. There's some that just are into art, or some that are into human services, right? You just got to make sure you're getting your message and your mission to the ones that it speaks to them.
Line up with you guys.
Yeah.
One more question. Heather says, do you guys still hold Holy Smokes?
Every year, it's the Thursday before Labor Day. Heather, if you call me, I'll make sure you're there. I appreciate you reaching out. The Thursday before Labor Day.
What is Holy Smokes? I got some mess in my brain right now.
Holy Smokes is, I'll call it a gala, but it's not stuffy, right? What it is a barbecue bash, right? Okay. And so this past year we had it at this past August. We had it at Omaha Steelhouse, which was, it's the biggest. Nice. It was our biggest, and best sort of showing. I'll tell you, we raised a lot of money, more than, substantially more than we ever had in the past. And Omaha Steelhouse is a great, great venue for us. It worked out. We were able to put flowers from our floral shop on the tables.
Forgot about the floral shop.
Yeah, it's really a come as you are, jeans and t-shirt. This past August. So the concept was getting the band back together. And so over the last 19 years of Holy Smokes, which was at Anthony's for a while, we had it at 75 North for a while, which was a great venue. We had it at downtown at the Diamond Room. So that it was getting the band back together. And part of that was us getting old board members, our Fresh Start alumni, and a band that played with us. It was called It'll Come to Me. So anyway, getting that band back together. Finest Hour. I'm sorry. It was Finest Hour. They've been together for almost 50 years as a band. And so they played every year for us at Anthony's. And then we hadn't had them play for 4, 5, 6 years. So we got them out and they played at Stillhouse, and it was a great time.
That sounds like a good. That's kind of gala I like. I'm tired of dressing up like Bridgerton every time I got to go. That's my kind of funky spot. I like that.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. There's some pictures out there. I actually had a sort of a cut off jean jacket. It kind of felt like an 80s thing.
Okay.
So I had this cut off sleeve jean jacket. That I wore that day. Yeah.
When is the next one? When's next one coming up?
It'll be in August. That date. I can tell you real quick.
Okay. So coming up next year then. So
next year, yep. Same venue.
Stillhouse. That's what's up. Okay.
Stillhouse, yep. August 28th, 2025. Right.
Okay.
It's always the Thursday before Labor Day.
Man, I'm trying to think. Would that be around Omaha Days too? Is that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Man, I want to get together here. Okay, yeah, that's what's up, man. I've been seeing people walk around the center as I go do the video stuff with the Holy Smoke shirts on. And I was like, I know it ain't what I'm thinking. That's
Cali you thinking of? Yes, it's Cali coming in.
Yeah, I'm from Cali, bro. This is. Matter of fact, I played on a Holy Smokes tour in California.
Oh gosh,
really?
Yeah. I was like, it can't be the same thing.
Just a quick history of it. It was started because we were born out of Sacred Heart Church, right? Okay. And so, although we're our own 501c3, we've continued with the legacy of Holy Smokes. So it was started out of a church, right? And the holy part is the church, the smokes part is the barbecue, right? Mm-hmm. So thus Holy Smokes, right? So that's where that comes from, right? Paul, I get you from California. I hear you.
Yeah, I played keys in the band and opened up for Cypress Hill on the Holy Smokes tour. So
Okay. It makes sense.
You still feeling some residual from back then.
But yeah, that party sounds good, man. We'll have to get with you in August on that and do some stuff. And I can't wait to work with you some more. After we get done doing this latest video batch, we've been talking about some other things to do where we can partner up. And as you can see, partnerships are the key.
Yeah, teamwork.
Like you're saying you got to have that. You got to have the teamwork, man. So I'm loving the organizations that you're getting involved with, doing the work. And and all of that, man. Next time I need to get a little consultation on what I need to do with my dentistry, I'm gonna come over there because it's it's one of them things I can't afford at this moment. So it's nice to have some people in tow that you can go to and not feel like you're getting looked at sideways and actually cares about helping and wants to help and at least send you in the right direction. So I appreciate you guys big time.
Well, Paul, let me say, and I know I know I gotta go, you gotta go, but let me tell you, I just put my glasses on, right? Mm-hmm. And you talked about dental, okay? Mm-hmm. There was a point here where I couldn't afford to go and get my eyes checked and get glasses, okay? Right? And so I mentioned we have vision. These are expensive, right? Yeah. The checkup, the glasses, it's expensive, right? Yeah. I think there was a point where when I was getting glasses, I got 2 pair for like $900. Ooh, that's $900 that can't go somewhere else, right? Mm-hmm. So just for our listeners, keep that in mind. If you need vision needs, come check us out. Dental, you mentioned dental. Mm-hmm. One of the things that we want to do, because we work with individuals who are trying to get back into the workforce, right? And if, like me, and again, I'm laying it all out here. I'm as vulnerable as they come. I didn't have good dental as a kid, right? I told you we waited in cheese line. There's much more than that goes along with an individual who comes and needs food. There are other things that are either lacking or they've not had exposure to, okay? And so I didn't have good dental as a kid, right? And so many of the individuals that come to us, they're getting their smile back, right? it's so important that when you go to get a job, right? Unfortunately, people look at that smile, or fortunately, they look at that smile, right? And they make an assessment of you, right, in that moment. And so, how can we help in getting those individuals smile back? So we do cleanings, we do extractions. Some of us got some rotten teeth we got to get pulled that we've been holding on to. Go and get that. Come and get that thing pulled. Get it out, and then take care of what the needs are after that. So extractions, X-rays, cleanings, right?
That's
and then
huge.
we do some low cost dentures as well.
Man, that's huge, especially those coming from addiction. Things like meth, dealing with the
Absolutely.
teeth, trying to
Absolutely.
get back into the swing of things is huge.
Yep. It's getting that smile back so you can go get that job. It's really important.
Yeah.
And just have the confidence, that
Confidence,
you can.
yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the only thing lacking. I talked to a lot of people already during this video series that are educated. They are a smile away from getting a job.
Come on. That's right.
Man.
That's right.
So you can use that, by the way, for you. We go get ahead. We got 5 minutes left of the show, man. We go ahead and let you go and get out of here. Appreciate you coming through, bro. We'll definitely do it again soon.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
See you soon. All right. Bye-bye.
Man.
Oh man, always a pleasure talking to Dom.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I appreciate everybody who jumped into the chat as well. Oh, I'm sorry, Rome's Reviews. I missed your question. We'll have to get it on the next go around.
Or you just pull up, man. Check them out. Check them out.
Old glasses to distribute to those who. That's a good. I wonder if you can do that.
Man, that's why we call him the mayor. Always trying to help other folks.
Yeah, there's got to be a way to match. There's got to be older glasses out there that does match a person's needed prescription some kind of way. I wonder if that sounds like a whole business. Yeah, the mayor coming up with good ideas. Appreciate you very much. Appreciate everybody in the chat that had questions and comments, and shout out to and let Dom tell the stories, man. These are things to hear, and I tell you what, that's another thing that I'm really gravitating to when it comes to Heart Ministries. These stories. Like I said, I'm over there working on a video series with them where I'm getting people's stories on a certain subject, but the people are opening up about their whole situations, and I'm just like, hey, I got more insights on what's going on, especially like in North Omaha and the surrounding areas, through listening to these people than I'm getting in a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody has individual stories, the reason why they are like they are. You get a sense of what's going on in the dental field. Everybody who comes in talking about they needed to go to Heart Ministry for the dental stuff went to Creighton School of Dentistry first and got put on a waiting list for 2 years and couldn't wait that long. And all we hearing about stuff that's going on right around us. Just listening to people's stories. So it's a great situation to be able to do that, to listen to people who want to come and say, hey, I need some help and this is why. And you get a good sense of what real problems, the real things that are going on here around us. So highly encourage you to go over there and do some volunteer work, even, go to the pantry, do a little volunteer work if you can. We're not just talking to people that might need that help, but the people that can also help. Go to, they always use volunteers and people around to treat people with dignity and help them get it is what they need. And you can learn more about what they're doing by going and doing some volunteer work as well. So big time, man. Shout out. We got 3 minutes left in the show, man. I want to give it to Buddy. You got some things you want to wrap up here. You got, what can we do in 3 minutes?
Maybe a quick lightning round.
Okay.
A few other resources out there for the folks. Definitely wanted to give acknowledge, especially as we celebrated a Veterans Day at the top of this week, acknowledge some resources out there for our brothers and sisters who are returning home from service. Again, the Dunham House is a resource that is coming by way of Wounded Warriors, I believe, is the organization behind this, but it is an 8-acre property that will be home to privately funded 27,000 square foot residents that will house about 30 combat wounded veterans from Nebraska and around the country. They are underway. I think the goal is to break ground in 2025, hoping that it will be open by Memorial Day in 2026. So this is something that is coming down the pipe. But the Dunham House, again, will soon sit near 60th and Craig Streets. John Folsom, who's a veteran himself, explained the need, saying with the younger generation of wounded veterans, many are being cared for by their parents right now, but may not be able to be cared for that way forever. And again, housing is definitely a conversation that's ongoing with us here on First Sky and in the community. And again, too many of our houseless brothers and sisters are ones who, again, formerly served in the military. So big shout out to Wounded Warriors for the work that they're doing in that regard. Also, on some development issues, or on the development tip, we spoke to Senator Terrell McKinney about some of the things going on in the Levi Carter area. Again, this isn't quite under the Inland Port Authority, but this is something that is also impacting that area. The $35 million Levi Carter Sports and Activity Complex that is underway. And it seems like the community, the surrounding residents, are a little more welcoming for this than we're seeing with the business park. Joe Higgins, who has been kind of front and center, he is the president of the neighborhood association in that area. He says that it's a hidden gem, a hidden asset that could really be spectacular. He says, my vision for the area is to have an element of resident housing, affordable, and really build a small town. So I would kind of consider that a part of North Omaha. Again, a lot of folks, especially in North Omaha, frequent that Levi Carter Lake area, especially on Sundays. So yeah, some resources that could benefit and impact the community coming that way. So something else to look out for, and we'll kind of leave it there, man. Again, a lot of development, a lot of more conversation to be had in future episodes. But with just a few minutes left, we'll leave it there.
Yep. Appreciate everybody that has joined us, and appreciate everybody that put stuff in Friends of First Sky Omaha. It's our group page over there on Facebook. If you're not a part of it, love that you drop the articles there. That's kind of where we pull from and can continue the conversation there. And again, just want to remind people, please sign up for the weekly wrap newsletter as well. The conversation continues over there when we're not live here too. You can actually respond to us over there too, and kind of still have some little back and forth going on there. There's some surveys on the weekly wrap that we put on there too, that you can help us to figure out exactly what we need to do as far as the kind of news that we need to be bringing to you, and what it is that you are thinking about, and also just the contribution. Like this is the way we reach out. We reach out to the neighborhoods to find out what you guys, what the people are saying and need to say, and all that, and we try to share that, because we're kind of hyper locally focused here, in order for us to really kind of have a well-informed neighborhood situation, digital neighborhood association. So fight the algorithm. Please sign up for the weekly wrap. I put the link in the chat as well, and we're going to continue to upgrade and do stuff with this newsletter, so we can keep this conversation going to the people that really want to have the conversation in a big way. And also definitely check out our website. We're making changes and doing things over there too, and that's where you can start getting some of your news. Is over there on the website, firstskyOmaha.com. So hit that up. Really appreciate if you guys do that. And yeah, again, like I said, just really appreciate everybody that's come through. Shout out to all of our special guests that came through today. Don't forget to go check out Heart Ministries. I really feel like this is the block right here. This is where they're at, and there's a lot of resources here, a lot of things that you don't know is happening over there. I learned another one, vision. Didn't know about the vision situation over there. So, and don't forget about the flower shop that's over there as well. I mean, so they're really doing some big things, man, and making some real big difference there, and I really appreciate that. And the same thing with IB Black Girl. Shout out to them too. Don't forget to sign up to go check out this event on November 23rd. It's coming up. You got to reserve your tickets. Let me see if I can find the ticket reservation here real quick for you.
Link should still be in the chat.
Yeah, link in the chat for sure. Yeah, you have to go check it out. I'm kind of lost it already here. Looks like. Yep, not gonna keep looking. So yeah, definitely check it out, man. See what's going on with Super Cent, the Key networking brunch event, where you can go keying with your friends.
Yeah. Get down.
Love it.
Yeah. Also, right there on the Deuce, man. It's all happening on the Deuce, man. Yeah. Check it out. Check it out.
Still going down. And man, get set up for Omaha days coming up next year.
Man, be here before you know it.
Make the plans.
Yeah.
3 minutes after 9 already. We already have moved past our agreement on the time, so we appreciate you letting us go a little bit past, and appreciate you guys also participating as well. But you got some words for the people?
Yeah, of course. Big shout out to our special guest for stopping through. Again, it seems like a lot of people enjoyed the conversation as much as we did. So hopefully, there's some things you can pull from there, especially some resources. Again, we covered a lot of resources in the community in a lot of ways, especially in the areas of health. Making sure health is wealth, man. So reproductive health, dental health, vision. Make sure you stay on top of those things. And there's resources, insurance, finances. Don't let that stop you. There's resources out there. So Big shout out to, again, Nezzie Hardges and brother Damany Rahn for coming through and speaking with us. Appreciate you all. And of course, a big shout out to all of you, the chat chimers, ghost listeners, even the monitoring spirits. We see you. We know you're there. And we appreciate you for tuning in. Man, it's all love. Again, enjoy doing this here on First Sky Omaha. And hopefully we do some good today. So until next time, look out for the next weekly wrap coming up in a couple of days on Friday. Also, as Paul has mentioned, make sure you check out our website, firstskyOmaha.com. Again, firstskyOmaha.com. If you haven't already, make sure you join our membership. Again, big shout out to those of you who have already $10, $25, even $50 a month members. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you for helping us keep this going because, as Dom said, man, it takes finance to keep these things happening, man. So appreciate the support. And without further ado, Paul B.
Yo.
Take it away, man.
Just want to remind everybody, we are not a nonprofit organization. We are a for-profit organization because we wanted some sustainability. We wanted to grow, and we wanted to keep on continuing with the service, which is to help people be informed and help our neighbors be informed, and let's get to some action. And that's going to be an ongoing thing, as you can see.
Man, big time.
Never going to stop. It's never going to stop with us. Can't stop. No, I ain't going to. Can't even do the Diddy reference no more.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
He didn't ruin. Can't stop, won't stop. No, he didn't ruined it.
Yeah, you need to stop.
Pop says, "What an excellent." You need to stop. Pop says, "What an excellent show. Enjoyed the guests and convo. See you Monday. Appreciate you, Pops." Stacey Jean says, "Great show, fellas. Great information regarding the community. Thank you. Appreciate that."
Thank you.
Ron's Review says, "Have a blessed day. Appreciate you, brother, and all the good ideas that you got as well." Heather Williams says, "Great show, man. You guys are showering the praise. I appreciate that very much." So yeah, definitely do that, and also go to Friends of First Sky Omaha to check out some of these other events that are coming up in a couple of days as well. Unlock Your Future happening Wednesday the 13th, which is today. Yep. That is today. Yeah. So if you want to go check it out, it's open to the community. Definitely go check it out. info@stepupomaha.com if you want to email them. This flyer is on Friends of First Sky Omaha, so you can hit that QR code and get some more information. But definitely come through. It's from 8 p.m. It's supposed to be 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I'm quite sure. I think. Yeah,
6. That's at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
6? Okay, got it. I need to start ministry and get my eyes.
You got good leaders.
For sure. And then also, this is coming up on November 16th as well, a Community and Police Justice and Reform Summit that Empowerment Network is putting on. So go to First Sky and get some more information on those two events. Also, the Assembly of the Saints got a resource room that's open up every third Sunday of the month, 12:30 to 1:30, to get some free diapers, free wipes, free baby formula, all kinds of stuff. Shout out to Sherman Wells, who put this on his page as well and let us know. And shout out to Assembly of the Saints and all the work they're doing. I'm sure they can use donations for all these things too. But if you can't donate and you need the help, you can go check them out every third Sunday of the month from 12:30 to 1:30 and get some baby formulas and things like that you might need. So community, looking out for each other all the time. I'm loving it.
There you go.
What's happening? We're going to go ahead.
We got.
But it is enough. Like you,
there you go. There you go.
Say.
There you go.
But he says we all we got, but that's enough.
Yeah, and it is.
Yeah. So appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on Monday when we'll be speaking to the senators. Only a few shows left in the season, so I highly encourage you to tell a friend, spread the word, and let's all have some continue these conversations in this season of journalism as activism.
Man,
get to some action. Stay warm, y'all. We'll see you soon.
Peace.
By the way,
hold on. I'm tripping. All the way tripping. In honor of Native American Heritage Month, I want to give a shout out to the Umaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak with you. And shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you as well. Appreciate all your comments today. Appreciate all your questions today. All the respect that you give our guests. Can't thank you enough for that. And with that, we will see you on Monday.
Peace.
By the way, Van Glorious. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green.